All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome. This is pretty exciting. Zendikar Rising announcement just came out from Wizards of the Coast. We got a whole bunch of stuff to go over. New set, new mechanics, returning mechanics, new planeswalkers, new dual lands, full art lands, expeditions, new booster packs, and of course, all the releases coming in 2021. And we're going to jump right in. We're starting with the planeswalkers. New Nissa. As if we didn't have enough of Nissa in Standard already anyway, right? Nissa of Shadowed Bows. 4-mana Golgari Planeswalker here. And we got a static ability. Now, I think that Wizards has learned from their static debacle in War of a Spark that positive statics or fun statics or extra abilities that aren't loyalty abilities are fun. Prison static abilities like Karn and Narset, not as fun. So, Nissa is a 4-mana Planeswalker for loyalty. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, it gets a loyalty counter, which is pretty cool. You can +1 to do the usual Nissa turn a land into a 3/3 haster, but also gets menace too. So by its lonesome here, Nissa is going to create an army of hard to block hasted 3/3 threats, which is pretty awesome. Nissa is very, very good at attacking other planeswalkers, making threats. That's great. And then a -5 ability that allows you to either put a card in a creature card from your hand or your graveyard onto the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Not a super exciting ability here, considering it's kind of priced as an ultimate. I think Nissa's sole purpose here is, for the most part, just make 3/3s, attack your opponent, make 3/3s, attack planeswalkers. I like the design of these new planeswalkers. I feel like the planeswalkers in this set. We also have Jace Mirror Mage and Nahiri. I'm not going to go over these too much because my article on CoolStuffInc.com last week went over these cards in great detail. Check that out, CoolStuffInc.com. Again, I went over these in full detail. All three of these planeswalkers, though, are very interesting in their design. They're not overpowered. They're not overbearing, but there's a lot of interesting things going on in them as far as deck building goes, and I'm pretty pumped. 3 exciting planeswalkers. The planeswalkers in Core Set 2021 were also pretty exciting as well. So that's the planeswalkers. Let's talk mechanics. Our first returning mechanic is Kicker, of one of the most beloved mechanics in the history of the game, and honestly, kind of the grandfather of a lot of mechanics, where it feels like a lot of mechanics are just Kicker. It might say Replicate, or it might say some other name, but for the most part, it's just Kicker. You can play a spell or play extra to get more out of the spell. We have Blood Chief's Thirst here, 1 black sorcery. It destroys a creature or planeswalker, take that, Ren 6, with converted mana cost 2 or less, and if you kick it, you just can destroy any creature or planeswalker. So 1 mana, it's a pseudo-fatal push that can kill planeswalkers, albeit being a sorcery. And for 4 mana, you get Hero's Downfall. This card is going to see play in every format. I'm not sure if it's as good as Fatal Push, but it's really on the bar. And the fact that it kills planeswalkers is excellent. I've spoken a lot about the desire for more ways to interact with planeswalkers. This card does that really, really well. I like that a lot. Other returning mechanic, Landfall, as well as a returning card here in Lotus Cobra. Lotus Cobra, it's funny because Lotus Cobra was originally one of the first mythics that kind of broke the mythic rules that Wizards laid out. Wizards was like, mythic rares are going to be big, splashy, legendary cards and planeswalkers. Then they made Lotus Cobra a mythic, and it was sort of like, what do you mean? This card could be an uncommon. It's just really, really good. So downshifted to a rare, which I like a lot. Lotus Cobra is really, really good. 2/1 Landfall, makes a mana of any color. Now this time there's no fetch lands. Last time Lotus Cobra was legal, there were fetch lands in Standard. I used to play the Teamer, or I guess it was called Rug back then, ramp deck with Lotus Cobra, Oracle of Moldiah, and Jace. And fetch lands were pretty silly with Explore and stuff. So no fetch lands this time. This card's going to be a little more fair. However, I'm calling it right now. Euro Titan of Nature's Wrath will not be a legal card in 2021 this time next year. Euro's already busted, and with all these landfall effects and landfall triggers and things like that happening too, Euro is just egregious. No way Euro survives this Standard format, but we'll see. Lotus Cobra, very good card, very cool card. So Landfall is returning as well as Omnath. So Omnath is now 4 mana legendary elemental. I'm sure all you Commander players will be stoked about that. Comes into play, you draw a card. And then Landfall, if it's your first land, you gain 4 life. If it's your second land, you make 4 mana, which is really good. And if it's your third land, you do 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. So this is what I'm saying here with Euro. I mean, Euro is one of the easiest ways to make an extra land drop for landfall. And yeah, Euro is just ridiculous. So pretty cool card here. Pretty cool card. A lot of colors for sure, but definitely an interesting effect. Pretty fun, pretty cool art too. So new Omnath for landfall. And now I have some new mechanics here. All right, so this is honestly a really clever mechanic. It is the party mechanic. And the party mechanic, pulling from like D&D and kind of just like RPG lore kind of stuff, you get a bonus for each additional member of your party. So the party types are cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. Okay, and the more you have of each, the better effects like Shepherd of Heroes get, which is a 3/4 flyer for 5. It's a common, it's a draft common. When it comes into play, you gain 2 life for each creature in your party. So if you have all 4 types, you get 8 life. If you have a cleric and a rogue, you gain 4 life. This is cool. This is flavorful. Really, really fun idea for the design. Kind of a fun way to use creature types, because creature types are usually used for tribal decks, right? I'm playing goblins. Play as many goblins as you can. You know, so put goblins in your deck and don't put non-goblins in your deck. You know, but the party mechanic mixes that up a bit. And we saw this in Ikoria. One of the most exciting parts of Ikoria Limited was trying to balance your humans and non-humans. There were a lot of things that wanted you to play humans, but the mutate mechanic didn't work with humans. So a lot of cool, you know, dyssynergies there that make you reconsider how you're building your deck. And then a lot of cards that wanted you to have a human and a non-human in play. This is kind of an extension of that. And that was one of the funnest parts for deck building for Ikoria, was trying to toe that line. You can't just play all humans, can't just play all non-humans. You got to mix it up and find the right mix, which is very fun and challenging. So definitely a super cool mechanic. We're also seeing a Kitesail Freebooter kind of card here, where you get to look at their hand and make them discard a card. You need to look at the number of cards for your party. So if you have a rogue, a wizard, and a cleric, you look at 3 cards in their hand and make them discard 1. So better than Freebooter in the sense where they can't get the card back, but limited in scope as far as what you can hit. But definitely, this is a super good Ravenous Rat for sure. Ravenous Rat being a 1/1 for this effect. So that one's pretty exciting. And then we have Taziri Beacon of Unity, which costs 1 less for each creature in your party. Of course, cost reduction is a huge mechanic. This is basically affinity for creatures in your party. A 4/6 is huge. It's legendary, so pretty powerful. It does cost 5. Gets around things like Fatal Push and things like that. Eliminate, despite possibly costing less than that. And then has this weird 4-color or 4 other color mana sync ability where you can look at the top 6 and basically draw any pair of clerics or rogues, warriors, wizards, or allies from among them. So kind of a mana sync. Kind of interesting card. Looks similar to Kenrith in a white legend with a bunch of colors in the text box. The multicolor ability looks a little extra. It's bonus. This might just be a 4/6 for like 2 mana, which is pretty awesome. Pretty fun card. Kind of cool. Then we have Linvala, Shield of Seagate. 3 mana legend for a 3/3 flyer, which is already good. The party text on this one is almost flavor text. Beginning of combat in your turn, you have a full party. Choose target non-land permanent an opponent controls, and it can't attack or block till your next turn. It can't activate its abilities. If you have a full party and a Linvala, you're probably already in good shape. It feels like a win more ability. But the second ability is much more important. You can sacrifice Linvala to make all your creatures have hexproof or indestructible. This is like a super selfless spirit, which is pretty good. Pretty solid card. There's already some cool flying synergy stuff going on in Azorius, so kind of a cool legend. You get to see Linvala back here. And more party stuff here. This card is pretty interesting. 6 mana instant for Azorius. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. So same idea, affinity for party members. Gain 3, draw 3. Now the big thing here is, yeah, this card's fun. You get a party, you cast this for 4, it's pretty good. 3, it's insane. Even 5 is pretty good, being like a Jace's Ingenuity with upside. Although that card doesn't really go in creature decks usually. The big thing here, and now I'm not sure, I should have looked this up before I did the video. I'm not sure how this interacts with changelings, and I meant to ask my Discord before I did this video. I didn't, though. If this works with changelings, putting 4 Mutavaults in your deck and having this card and activate Mutavault, cast this for 2 is pretty busted. Please check with your local judge on this one. I should have checked them before I did the video. I did not, but pretty cool limited card, possible constructed card. Now let's get to our other mechanic. Dual-faced cards are back, and they are here in a very interesting way. Zendikar is a land set, right? It's all about lands, cool land stuff. Well, here we go. We're doing it. Valakut Awakening. 3 mana instant. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards plus 1. So, kind of a card filtery effect. Without putting the cards in your graveyard, it's okay. There's some decks that want to put things back in their deck. For example, if you're playing Emrakul and like Polymorph, things like that. But front side it's okay. It's not a card you'd probably want to play by itself. However, there's more. Uh-oh. There's more, I said. Valakut Stoneforge is the other side of this, and it's just a come into play tap land. Now, of course, this looks pretty bad, right? So 1 color comes into play tap land, but once you give the ability to have spells that are also lands, this is uncharted territory in Magic. This is actually very, very exciting. Your spell doesn't need to be that good if it can also be a land too. Think of cycling lands. Think of cards like Forgotten Cave, and being able to exchange your extra land for a resource is phenomenal. So if we're playing 24 lands in our deck, but 4 of them are Valakut Stoneforges, we're not going to flood because we have spells too. So this is going to be very interesting to see how powerful they end up making these cards because of how powerful the effect is. This one it's not super exciting, but again, this is like super cycling on your land. This is like a super Forgotten Cave. Definitely a really interesting mechanic. Stands to be very, very powerful. This is one to watch. If these cards are too good, they could be really good, but we'll see how they look. The other exciting thing about this, we got dual lands, folks. Who's ready for the dual lands? I know I'm ready, and you should be too. I've been asking for fast lands. I've been asking for duals to come in untapped. There it is. Clearwater Pathway. The Pathway lands are here. And these are super clean, clever, and elegant dual lands. Very simple. It's a double-faced card. This side taps for blue. That side taps for black. That's it. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. These are awesome. I was saying earlier in an article recently, I say this on stream all the time, that tap lands are very frustrating. They're very bad for aggro decks, very bad for curve out decks. They really encourage mid-range decks. Again, I have an article on coolstuffinc.com where I talked about that. And I want dual lands that come in untapped, and I want dual lands that don't encourage you to play a million colors. This is it. These are awesome, awesome lands. Very, very powerful. In a lot of ways, these are what the Onslaught fetch lands wanted to be. Where you get to choose one color or the other, and that's it. Of course, the fetch lands are marred by the fact that they get dual lands, that they trigger landfall twice. The fetch lands are too good in that respect. This is the essence of fetch lands without all the extra baggage. And these are really, really cool. I think these are awesome. Don't think they're overpowered. I think they're a perfect power level. They're probably not good enough for older formats beyond Pioneer. Any format with fetch lands in it, these aren't good enough. But for the formats that don't have fetch lands and can't play the fetch land dual land mana bases, these lands are awesome. Now, they're not perfect because if you're playing Goblin Chainwhirler, sorry, your Timbercrown Pathway can't tap for that. So there are downsides to only being one color, but they make mana on turn 1. They can cast your Llanowar Elf. They can pass your Legion's Landing. This is awesome. Now, the one interesting thing here is that there are only 6 of them. There are 3 allied and 3 enemy colored ones. I can only assume we'll see the rest in the next set. But these are really, really cool. I am pumped for these lands. I think this is a great, great design. Super elegant, super cool. I don't love double face cards for like checklist cards and stuff. They're a little annoying. Buy some opaque sleeves and enjoy it because these are some really cool lands here. Really, really cool lands. Super excited about this land cycle. I'm pumped. You should be too. And full art lands are back. This is pretty cool. Just going to go over these real fast. You can see the art. Pretty cool arts. I'm not big on the full art lands. I like the old beat up Mirage lands personally, but definitely cool. Obviously, a big draw to Zendikar is these lands, which is pretty cool. And the big news otherwise is expeditions are back. That's right, fetched land expeditions. And the cool thing here, non-foil expeditions. So you don't got Pringles. You don't got Pringles in your deck. These are cool. Again, not really for me. I'm not really a collector, but pretty cool. All the fetch lands, the commander lands, Prismatic Vista, Wasteland. So these are cool. Again, not really for me. I'm not a big collector when it comes to stuff like this, but they're cool. It's a fun thing. I think that Wizards has been doing a better job of spreading out these sort of offerings to people who want them. Kind of there's the whales who want to get their foil Wastelands, and then but they're not necessary, and they're not, they're just cool. I'm down with it. So that's that. I also have a new thing here with Zendikar Rising as far as this style of booster packs. There's a new booster called Set Boosters, and they have a spread of cards in them. They also have 2 wild card slots that can be older cards as well, pulled from the list, a curated list of cards. Here are 3 examples: Food Chain, Spirit Guide, Slimefoot. Bottom left corner, you can see the same logo that the mystery boosters had to denote that they're reprints. But this is kind of cool. Again, just another product. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Don't complain so much. Magic players complain way too much. Will I buy these? Probably not. But it's a cool idea, and it's a cool way to get old cards into circulation. So I'm cool with that. And then we have our new sets they've announced. They announced the slate of sets for 2021. This is pretty exciting. We have I'm going to say this wrong. Oh, my God. Kaldheim, which is going to be a Viking theme set, which is pretty cool. Strixhaven, School of Mages, a.k.a. J.K. Rowling's going to sue somebody. Probably like a Hogwarts sort of school of magic kind of thing, which is pretty cool. A Dungeons and Dragons crossover set, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. I don't play D&D. I know tons of Magic players do, though. This is a really cool crossover. I think ideas like this are phenomenal for getting cross-pollination as far as games go. And a return to Innistrad. There's going to be 2 Innistrad sets. These are their code names. You can see behind me here. Set names not final. Innistrad Werewolves, Innistrad Vampires. Pretty cool. Innistrad's obviously a very fun, beloved set. Interesting to see what they'll do with that. Time Spiral Remastered. They weren't super clear about this one. It sounds like it would be an arena set. I don't know if it's going to be both or not. But the cool thing here, I don't know why they're doing this exactly. The cool thing here is this. Old bordered promo cards. There's one of these in every pack. And they're just old bordered versions of new bordered cards. I've often said on Twitter that I don't really care about promos and stuff. That's not for me. I like the oldest border, crappy, beat-up version of a card. This might make me change my mind on that. These are really, really cool. I might have to get these Path to Exiles. These are pretty awesome. So definitely super cool. Again, it's a fun, simple way to make the product exciting. That's pretty cool. Modern Horizons 2. Hopefully they take their foot off the gas a little bit on this one compared to Modern Horizons 1. We'll see. Definitely expecting a fun draft format, though. It should be cool. And there's your whole schedule for 2021, which is pretty exciting. Notice there are no core sets. They decided to do the D&D set over core set. Core sets are always they feel necessary but aren't that exciting. I'm not sure what they're going to do with core sets. They work out kind of well, but I don't know. We'll see. So that's your 2021, which is pretty cool. A few more things here. Some Jace shoes. If you like fancy shoes, they glow in the dark. I don't know. Sure, I guess. And a Yargle Secret Lair. Again, not really for me, but it's pretty amusing, I guess. Again, just a fun product for those who like it. And if you don't like it, don't buy it, Some sort of Walking Dead crossover, which is, I guess, cool. And this is the really cool one. Arena on mobile. And Day 9 had a really fun cameo. I love Day 9. Day 9's great, which is pretty exciting. And that's it. I'm stoked, and you should be too, realistically. This is one of the more exciting announcements. I'm sorry, my production's so bad. One of the more exciting announcements in a while. A trailer was kind of fun with Nahiri. Go watch that on YouTube. I'm pumped. All these sets seem really, really cool. The mechanics seem cool. The dual lands seem cool. A lot of negativity in Magic over the last year, with set design being a little rough and a lot of bannings and so on and so forth. But looks to be a pretty awesome set. I'm pretty pumped. You should be too. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, this is our first look at Zendikar, And let me know your thoughts on dual lands and all the new mechanics and things like that. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. This comes out in like a month, I think. So we'll be doing tons of content on that on Arena and in all the formats. I'm pumped. You should be too. Thanks for watching. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. I'm Jim Davis. Check out the videos, and I'll see you folks next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Zendikar Rising. It's cool stuff. Pretty sweet.